Shit, this frustrates me so bad. I have no idea. I can't even guess at it.
None at all. Right, do you have any idea what the method is?
I'm trying to think. Just give me a second. I'll get it. I will get this.
I'll give you as long as you want. I'll
totally get this.
Could this be it? Could this be the moment? This is no BS. This is either going to go well or it's going to go badly. I'm unlocking my phone. Let's focus on the screen. Let's see if we can do this. Hold down, go on YouTube. There we have it. What's it say? Does it say 9,999 subscribers? Let's refresh. 10,002! 10,000 subs! Woo, let's go! Yes! Dudes! Thank you all! I can't believe it! I actually can't believe it. I need to look at that again. Yo! My god, 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I've been going since just before Christmas. It's now April the 7th. Like, what the hell are you doing to me? Thank you all so much. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this stuff. So, whew! Okay, what a way to start the day. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back to another Fooler, which is, as you know, the weekly segment where I show live magic to my wife, Kaylee. It's magic that she's never seen before. So there's a lot of magic tricks, obviously, that I've shown her that she's seen, which I can't show her because she's seen it. But there's a lot of stuff out there that either I've created or other people have created that she's never seen before, and I show it to her for the first time, then she rates it. So today's a special one. I'll stop all the rest of the talk. This is a thought of card effect. I love thought of card effects. I'm guessing most of you do as well. I am obsessed with it, and I'm constantly searching for the best version, creating my own versions, and evolving my own versions. This is my very latest version to date, to the point where this method dramatically changed about 2 hours ago. So you're seeing my very latest work on one version that I have of the thought of card. Now, there's a million different ways you can do it. You can have people just think of a card, and then you divine it verbally. There's ways you can use apps to divine the cards. You can use mathematical principles. You can use forces. You can use apps. There's so many different ways you can do it. This, for me, is a version focused strongly on the performance. So you're going to see Kaylee's reaction to this, and hopefully what she should experience is that she takes the deck, shuffles it up, spreads through to herself, and thinks of a card, and then that card reveals itself to her. It sounds kind of crazy, and I'll talk about later how you don't need to do the revelation part. You can actually just reveal it yourself, but it's way more fun doing the revelation part. And then I'm going to teach you how it works, because 10,000 subscribers deserve something special. So I would never normally share something like this, which is a work in progress on an effect that I love so much, but I love you guys so much, so you're going to get my very latest up-to-date work on it. And again, it's a combination of principles that are old, some new, some nuances that I created just for this effect, all coming to work together to make sort of this synergy that should hopefully give us a pretty cool effect. And what's important is, well, let's watch the effect and we'll talk about the rest afterwards. So without any further ado, oh, by the way, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button right now. I'm saying it, let's do it. Let's get to 20,000. Why not? Why not? It's taken us like 4 months to do 10. Let's get to 20 in the next 3. But without any further ado, once you've hit the subscribe button, so I'm not going to press play once you hit the subscribe button. That's bullshit. I'm going to play anyway. I'm going to just play the effect and then teach you how it works. Welcome to another episode of Fooler.
You've got something else on your mouth, you know, this week.
Stop it.
Stop eating your lunch before we do this.
I'm so hungry. Welcome to another episode of Fooler. Kaylee, shuffle cards up.
Shuffle them.
Shuffle them up. Shuffle them up.
God.
Shuffle them up.
Now you realise that I'm really rubbish.
You good? What? Now I realise.
Yeah.
Hold your hands out. Like a table.
Okay.
We're going to take a bunch of cards. I don't know. That enough?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Don't need the rest.
Oh.
Oh, this just got interesting. Shuffle them up.
Badly. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then hold cards close to your chest. Perfect. And what you're going to do is you're going to just spread through a couple
Yeah.
and just remember one.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go, quick.
Should I show everybody?
Just remember it quick. No, just
Sure.
remember it.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Say it to yourself like 10 times over in,
Yeah.
in your mind, so
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very, very, very fair.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there any way I could know what that card is right now? You are the only person right
No.
now in this world, and you shuffled the deck, that
Yeah,
knows what
yeah,
this card is.
yeah.
This next bit's not relevant to what we're going to do, but this is for everyone else at home to follow along with. Either, well, in my hands, count face up, and remember face up, so turn the deck over,
Okay.
and remember the number that your card is at. And you still remember your card, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Really quickly. And go all the way through them as well, so you don't stop on your card. Cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah.
Do you know your card and the number?
Yeah.
So, this point in time, I don't know what your card is.
No.
There's no way I can know. To indicate to everyone at home who are going to be watching this after,
Yeah.
so this is completely irrelevant, indicate to them what position it is so they can go back and rewind and make sure that you actually are doing this for real and it's
So
not
tell
set
them
up.
the number.
No, what you'll do is, if it for each digit of the number, if it's a single digit, like 8, you would count 8 to the bottom. And if it's like 12, you go 1 and then 2. If it was like 24, you'd go 2 and then 4 to the bottom, okay? Just so everyone at home can see without you saying anything out loud.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Ready?
Go. So do it and then tap me on the shoulder when you're finished. Done? Good?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So
I'm trying to hide them from you.
now everyone at home can backtrack and see what card you're thinking of and they're all on the same page as you. But for real, this is a shuffled deck.
Mm-hmm.
Shuffled by you.
Mm-hmm.
You thought of any card. You're thinking of any card in that deck, and there's
Mhm.
literally no way on earth I can know what that card is.
No.
Fair.
Yeah.
And if I put words in your mouth, is that like the most? Is this probably the most fairest position we've ever been in a trick ever?
Yeah, probably the card tricks, yeah.
Perfect. Now, do you believe in manifestation? Sort of like that crappy like Instagram thing you see, dream, believe, achieve. But like if you want something bad enough, that it will manifest itself. Or can you think of a time in your life when you thought you've tried to do something and you went for it and it went wrong, but you wanted it so much that you just felt it and you believed it and it just somehow manifested? Can you think of an occasion where that's happened for you?
Yeah.
Or something that you want to happen?
Yeah.
We're going to use the card that you're thinking of to symbolize that.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do is this.
Okay. Scared now.
You're gonna say, I believe this is my card, and put one card on the bottom. Like she loves me not.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
You say, I believe this is my card, and put one card at the bottom. And you can say, I don't believe, and throw one over your shoulder. And you're gonna do that until you have one card left, or no cards left. Say it. So you can put, I believe this is my card.
I believe this is my card.
I don't believe.
I don't believe.
And as you do that, I'm going to
It's
check the mic songs. I don't know if the mic is on or off.
Okay.
I believe this is my card.
I believe this is
And
my
I don't
card.
believe.
I don't believe. I believe this is my card.
The mic is on.
I don't believe. I believe this is my card. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.
Go slow.
Nope.
You have to do it properly.
I believe this is my card. Nope. 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 This bit's going to be fast forwarded, right? I believe this is my card. Nope. I believe this is my card. Nope. My OCT's going nuts because there's cards everywhere.
Keep going.
I believe this is my card. No. I believe this is my card. Nope. I believe this is my card. Nope. I believe this is my card. No. I believe this is my card. Nope. I believe this is my card. Nope. I believe this is my card. Nope.
One card left.
Yeah.
And that would be would that be an I believe? Or would that be
I believe this is my card, yeah.
Alright. We're down to one card.
Yeah.
Just look around. Do you see your card anywhere?
No, there's such a
Hold it face down. Hold it face down. For everyone at home,
Yeah.
because you have to be the eyes of the audience, so let's make sure they can see you. You really shuffled the deck. You're not set up. You're not in on this.
No.
You spread the cards to yourself
Yeah.
and thought of any card in the deck.
Yeah.
Then you said, I believe this is my card. I don't believe this is my card. In any order that you wanted.
Yeah.
Right? And you manifested this.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it face down out in front of you so everyone can see. What was your card?
The Jack of Clubs.
Do you believe that's your card? Say, I believe this is my card.
I believe this is my card.
Turn it over.
Yeah, it is! That's really good. That's so clever. How does that work?
You fooled?
Mm.
Are you badly fooled?
Yeah, I'm fooled. I hate that.
How badly fooled are you? Don't get it.
Oh,
Don't lick it.
totally fooled. Like, I can't... Shit, this frustrates me so bad. I have no idea. I can't even guess at it.
None at all.
Oh.
Right. Do you have any idea what the method is?
I'm trying to think. Just give me a second. I'll get it. I will get this.
I'll give you as long as you want. I'll go make
I'll
a
totally
cup
get
of tea.
this. No. Stay here because I need you to tell me if I'm right.
Right, well, to recount what happened, right? You took the deck, you shuffled it.
Yeah.
I'll give you about half the deck-ish.
Yeah.
You shuffled that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah. So to me,
You spread
my
the cards.
initial method in my head was it's in stack.
No stack.
Well, it
Guaranteed
can't be
there's no stack.
because I shuffled it.
No stack, guaranteed. Then you spread through and looked at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought of any card.
Well, that's the bit I don't get because I spread through them in my hands. You had no idea what cards were in my hands. And I literally, within seconds of it, I was like, oh, there's a 9 of diamonds there. I could go for the 9 of diamonds.
Right. So.
But I didn't. I went
And
for a
then,
chat.
when you said, I believe this is my card, I don't believe, I believe. If you'd gone one card either side, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
If you, well,
And if
any
this
other-
card had been at a different position,
it wouldn't have worked.
and I burned 2 cards because it was in the 12th position. So I did the 1 and then I did the 2.
But that was just to show everyone at home, so they can rewind it back and see that this is not set up.
I literally hate you.
Right, quickly then, marks for creativity.
Yeah, totally 5.
5?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I like that it's not so much card trick, it's that...
no, because as soon as you do, well, it
And the
feels
whole-
like you throw out the card trick when you give me the cards and then you go, right, we don't need them now. And it's like, whoa, hang on.
I like that it's a school ground thing, like she loves me not.
Yeah, I
Rock,
like
paper,
that.
scissors.
And
everyone sort of knows that
in
stuff.
that, you have to kind of concentrate on saying, right, I believe that this is mine, and then throwing the right one away.
Yeah.
Because I think that in that moment, I knew that that was part of the trick. Obviously, I don't know how that works. It's got to be some sort of maths thing. But doing that, going, she loves me, burn, she loves me not, and burning that card and throwing one away, you're left with one. But how are you left with mine?
How are you left with yours? All the choices are yours. A deck is shuffled by you. You think of any card in any position.
It's in my hands.
It's in your hands.
Oh.
Okay, creativity's at 5.
5.
Entertainment.
5. I loved it.
Fooler.
Well, obviously.
Completely fooled.
Give me a couple of days.
Bonus points.
Yeah, I loved it. Because it doesn't feel... It just feels like a bit of
And
fun.
I wrote down on a piece of paper that if there's a bonus point, if you award the bonus point, which you just did, yes,
Yeah.
then you have to clean the cards up.
No,
Yeah, so it says that on the paper there.
it doesn't. That's a
It
5
does,
of
yeah.
diamonds.
All right, thank you so much. Did you enjoy that, Jack?
Yeah, I
You genuinely
did.
liked
Yeah. It was fun because you didn't have to concentrate that much. You only had to remember your card. You only had to remember the number for them guys. And then once that was done, you just had to have a bit of fun and then get left with one card. And then it feels spontaneous because
Yeah.
you're kind of throwing something away. And that part of it is the exciting part as well.
Yeah.
Because you're actually going, right, it's not in my hand anymore. It's on the floor.
Yeah,
He can't just go and pick one card up and pocket it and go, this is your card.
because that is a process, and there's tricks like this. A lot of thought of card tricks. It's called thought of card sort of trick. There's a lot of process to it. There's things
Yeah.
you could do, and you have to count a lot, and you have to do this and that. I should feel that
Yeah.
there wasn't not a lot of process.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I only had to remember my card.
Yeah,
I only had to do that one thing. And even that, as a process, was fun.
yeah,
Because it takes you back to your childhood, takes me back to he loves me not kind of thing. And then again, it takes away that if you aren't, like me, a sort of layperson and you do know a bit about magic, it takes that palming out. It takes pocketing a card out. It takes all of that aspect out because you're throwing them on the floor.
Yeah.
They're not even in your hand anymore.
and because tricks like this can become boring, Like this, you have to make it exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was.
All right, so the best thing is about this, everyone, you're all going to learn to do this right now, and what's even better is that it's completely self-working. Meaning, you need zero skill to do this.
So I could do it.
You could literally do it. So everyone, buckle up, get yourself some cards. You don't even need a full deck. And you're going to learn how to do this, thought of card effect. Oh, by the way, I hit 10,000 subscribers this morning.
Hey! Thanks, guys.
You hit it. That's probably five of those thousand. 7 of those thousand are probably for you.
Totally me.
Face.
It's this.
All right. Okay, let's learn how to do this. Oh, nice transition. Stop it too. Ah, fuck! I'm going to explain to you the method and the nuances. But if you really want to think more about your magic and put more into your magic for your audience to give them better connections, then I'm going to explain a little bit more at the end of the video about the reasons and the things you can do to make this go from just a self-working card trick to hopefully some sort of real powerful experience for the audience. But I know a lot of you out there just want to learn the method. So I'm going to tell you the method, and those of you that give a shit can stick around at the end and we'll tell you about the good stuff. So this is how it works. You need 20 cards. Now, I act very casual, like I'm just chucking at the beginning, like I'm just counting a random amount of cards, but I'm actually counting exactly how many cards. And the way I do that is by counting how many cards I'm throwing as I do it. So I tend to do 5 at a time, so I'll push over 3 and then 2. So then I know I have 5. And I'll chuck those down. And then I can do that 4 times. I go 3, there's 3 cards there, and then 2, and that's another 5, and that's 10. So 3, 2, 3, 2. 20 cards. These can go anywhere you want to go south. Now, I had a magic book that I got from a thrift store when I was very, very young, like 10, 11 years old. In the UK, it's called a charity shop. It's something like the 101 card tricks from, I think it's James Weir. I'll put the image on screen. It's somewhere over in my mother's house in the attic somewhere. And in that book, I learned one of the coolest principles ever, especially when it comes to cards and numbers. And what I've done is taken this principle and rewrapped it completely to disguise it from the original, to the point where people who know this principle may even, probably, I hope so, people I've shown this to who do know this principle have not recognized it. So the principle is very, very simple. I'll do it to you at home right now. Think of a number between 10 and 20, okay? Any number between 10 and 20. And what I want you to do is add those 2 digits together. So if you're thinking of 14, you would add the 1 and the 4 to give you 5. So do that in your head. And take that number away from your original number. So if you were thinking of 14, you would add together 1 and 4, which gives you 5. And take that 5 from the original number, which was 14. And you would now have a new number in your head. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Again, think of a number between 10 and 20. Add the 2 digits up. And then take that answer away from the original number. Okay? And you can go ahead and comment below really quickly if you know your answer, but you should all be thinking of the number 9 right now. And it's an old maths trick. Now, in the book, it said that if you place the card in the 9th position in the deck, all right, then you don't have to have them do the maths. You can have them count down to a number. So let's say they count down to 15. 1, 2, 3. They count down to 15, right? So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll place this card face up. They're going to count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you say, count back with the pile, count back for each digit. So 1 for the 1 in 15 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will take them to the exact 4th card, which is the 9th card. Okay? So that's the principle. Now, I didn't mean to shout then. That's the principle. What I want to do is rewrap this and make it work for the effect. Because ultimately, I need a card to be in the 11th position in this deck, right? Because out of 20 cards, the 11th position is the magic number in this instance. Here's how I do it. I have them shuffle the cards. And I say to them, go ahead, bring the cards to your chest and spread them to yourself. And I make an image of them spreading carefully. Now, the goal here is that they don't spread like this. Let me get the focus up. They don't spread all the way to the end. Because I'm sort of trying to keep everything close guarded, I'm like, just spread through it. And I'm really mimic this whole thing. And if you've got the deck, you can actually show them to not go through. you're forcing them to go for the first few cards. And they've got a really good range here. The bigger point here is that you're forcing them to think of a card in the bottom 10 cards, which is a number between 10 and 20. So you're getting them to think of a number between 10 and 20 without actually having to say that. Also, you're not having them think of a number, you're having them think of a card. So you're disguising the number process, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take that number process and move it to a different part of the effect. So they think of a card. They just think they're thinking of a card, but there's so much more going on here. So at the minute, let's say they think of the Ace of Spades, right? So now what happens is, because they're thinking of one of the cards close to the face, they're thinking of the Ace of Spades in this instance. Boom. Done. So even though that looks completely fair, that they just shuffle the cards up, they spread through, they think of a card, there's a lot going on. Now the next part is, they need to know what position that Ace of Spades is in these cards. And they're also going to need to do the thing where they add the digits together and remove them from the total, leaving them on the number 9, which you don't want them to actually do that in performance, because that's going to make it feel boring and confusing. So what we do here is a really cool thing where I say, now the next part does nothing for us, but it helps everyone else, whether you're at home or in the audience, it helps everyone else sort of follow along and know what number you're thinking of, or any sort of ruse that you want to use, to get them to count the cards. Now I say, just so everyone at home just can follow along, count the cards face up and remember the position of your card, right? So they're going to do that. So they count the cards face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So they now know their Ace of Spades is 17th in the deck. And there's so many different ways of doing this. You can, like, there's other ways of having them think of a number before the effect begins, then count into it. There's so much you can do. But I feel this feels very fair and, more importantly, convincing to the audience. This all, at the moment, right, this should all feel like, okay, yeah, all right, this is all fair enough. So they know their card, in this instance, is 17th in the deck. Now, I say, so that everyone knows which number is, and they can, which card it is, so they can backtrack later on or follow along with you at home, blah, 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 blah. Just indicate to them indicate to them the position of your card. So by doing that, you say, so if it was 8, you would count 8. If it was 12, you'd count 1 and then 2. If it was 23, you'd count 2 and then 3. And I throw that in so it makes people think there's more than 20 cards, right? So in this instance, you go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's it. You're now, this just works from this point on. So if you've made it this far without being too bored, this works and you can just copy along the rest. But I'll just tell you some interesting things. What's interesting here is that after this point, I just wash it all away and say, look, this means no difference to what's going to happen next, because you're the only person that knows what card you're thinking of, and now everyone can try and backtrack and follow along at home. But either way, you've shuffled the cards, you're thinking of one, and that's about as fair as it gets. You can even spread through, and they can, and see that your card's lost somewhere in the middle randomly, because their card is now 11th down in the deck. Automatically, by doing that, it's placed it to the correct position. So I just say that was like irrelevant, or you're just helping everyone follow along at home. But either way, I sort of I want to mentally cut this section out from their head. So I just say that, and we're going to proceed forward now. And by doing that, by reframing and saying you're just thinking of a card, that's it. And now all that's left to do is play a game of they love me not. Or odd, even, red, blue, whatever you want. I go down this whole thing of manifestation because I really like, and I've spent a lot of time thinking of the right phrase to use. Like I thought, you know, Katie's my wife, so she could say he loves me not, but then she knows I love her, and we're married, so it kind of feels a bit redundant. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I do a thing where I say, you got to make a choice of an imaginary heads or tails. Imagine flicking a coin, heads or tails. What do you want it to be? You want it to be heads? Okay, now go heads, tails, heads, tails. Very quickly, the way it works is the first card that they put under is all that matters. So the very first card has to be like, they love me, they love me not. So it's just the first one has to go under. So if she was thinking of heads and tails and she named heads, I'd say, okay, heads goes to the bottom, and then tails gets thrown away, whatever. And then it just works, because the 11th card will force the card to be left in their hand of the card. Now, I just really like the phrase, I believe this is my card, because there's something so magic feeling or impossible feeling of just essentially, because to them it feels like they're just shuffling and mixing and throwing them away and being there going, I believe this is my card, and then you reaffirm to them, there's no way I could know what it is. You are the only person that knows the card. You are thinking of any card. You shuffle the deck, you spread through, you thought of one, and now they're stood there holding one card, just saying, I believe this is my card. Turn it over, and you can just hit that impact moment. You don't have to do that. You can do anything you want. You can make this feel like a tricky trick, like a card trick, as opposed to like a moment. But by tying it into like a greater sort of ethos, then it can have a lot of power. But either way, when they do the whole I believe, I don't. I believe, I don't. I believe, don't. One card left, the card they were thinking of the entire time, the Ace of Spades. And that's how the effect works. And like I said, it's beautiful because it's completely self-working. So you haven't got to worry about anything, and it's gonna just work. So that's the method. Now, stick around, I'm gonna tell you a few interesting bits about this piece, about thought of cards in general, and about why I like this so much and sort of the evolution about it. I'm gonna tell you right now my thoughts on it. But if you want to go off and just practice, then feel free. But here's some interesting things I think about this. I love the thought of card plot. I think it's one of the strongest effects in Magic, because the audience can immediately understand how impossible it is. And it's one of those things where they can repeat it later on very, very simply to someone. So they don't have to say, well, he took the cards, he mixed them face up, face down, and all of them the right way around, except all the cards in one suit, apart from my one, which was missing. I thought of a card, and it was the only card in my hand. It was the only, and he knew exactly what it was, right? So I mean, I don't need to say any more on the thought of card effect. It's a classic for a reason. And there's so many different approaches to it. And I love the Thomas Baxter book, and there's the things like Marlowe automatic placement. There's so many different ways to do it. You can do it just by estimating. You can do it with psych forces. You can use apps. There's a plethora of different ways. But for me, I love exploring these sort of essentially automatic self-working versions, because I think when disguised correctly, they can feel as impossible as any version, if not stronger. But they also allow you to do other things like focus on your presentation and focus on the details that make them feel real. So with that being said, this method is my current method that I've got to at this point today. As in this morning, this method was different again. And this presentation that I'm using right now will be different next week, or this method that I'm using will be different by next week, because this is an ever-evolving effect. Now what's interesting here is that with this method, you don't need to do the they love me not thing. What you can do is, because you know the card is going to be 9 down from the face, is once they've got to the point where they've shown everyone and indicated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah 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 blah, you can go into the Paul Curry false shuffle, where they go stick or twist, stick, deal or twist, you know what I mean? And then you can have them shuffle the deck, because that will retain the order if you do it twice, or if you do it once, it'll shift it from 11th to 9th down. And they feel like the deck's been shuffled again. And then you can say, so look, cards are shuffled, and you can literally just go 3, 4, you just count 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, and clock their cards. So in the action of just being like, so look, the cards are genuinely shuffled, you can see your cards not on, hopefully your card's not near the top or too near the bottom, it's somewhere lost in the middle. You can just clock their card and then reveal it, which is crazy powerful if you think about it. They shuffle the cards, they spread them and thought of any card to help everyone follow along the indicator to them, but it's irrelevant to the effect. But all that's important is that their card is mixed somewhere in the middle, and then you can divine that card. That's powerful enough on its own, but for me, I'm really into it at the minute, and you'll know from one of the first videos I posted just before Christmas that I love these organic sort of school playground effects. for example, the coin from behind the ear, rock, paper, scissors, which hand, heads or tails. All of these sort of premises are global. They're universal. Everybody knows them and recognizes them because they've been seen since you're a child. And I love this. She loves me, she loves me not. Kids do it with flowers or little things and coins and whatever. And there's something about that which it's hard to put it into words, but there's something sort of like homely about it. I can't really describe it, but it's engaging, and they understand it, and they understand that it's sort of not impossible, but it feels random. Especially when it's like a thought of card and a random amount of cards and they're shuffled, like then they really, it ups the ante. But I just really like this whole, I'm in love with this whole premise of that. And there's a lot of work by people like Woody Aragon and John Bannon out there that have used this, she loves me not, or red, blue, red, black, blah, 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 principle in their work. And there's methods you can do to definitively be certain of that outcome every time. The way I did it for this was I figured out which card I needed to be in a certain position, and then I backtracked by literally just counting. They love me not, until I got the right position, and then made everything sort of fit to it. But there are ways you can actually sort of beforehand sort of ascertain where you can make cards appear at certain positions and stuff like that. But go and explore their work because it's really smart stuff. But yes, that so you can just have them think the card. I love this premise of they love me not. What's interesting is you can actually do a thought of number and have them do, so they think of a card, and then you can have somebody else say, you know what, you think of a number between 10 and 20, and then you can do the deal down to it sort of thing if they've done a Paul Curry false shuffle to get it back into 9th position. So one person could be thinking of the card, the next person could be thinking of a number between 10 and 20, but because you have that ultimate control over where it is, you can do a lot of different things with it. And that's really the overview of it. Again, for me, instead of just throwing it away as a card trick, like everyone knows like the 21 card trick, and it's always presented as like the 21 card trick. By assigning this to like a relevant cause for me, which is manifesting. I want you to manifest that it's your card. I want you to believe, symbolize that it's something bigger, greater, something like you dream, and then believe in it, and then discard the negative thoughts and just hone in. That, even though to me it's not like the classic style of magic that I present, I know that it's going to have a deeper impact, and especially like my wife Kaylee, I know that style of magic really appeals, and especially when they buy into it and truly believe that like you're on the same page, then as in the effect and the where you are in the effect is so fair that they can get on board with going, okay, yeah, let's just give it a go, as opposed to it feeling like I've done this trick 1,000 times. If I presented this like it's just another trick in my arsenal, then it's not going to be very impressive. But to make it feel like a moment and frame it that way, all the important touches of having them spread through at the beginning, as opposed to systematically choosing a number beforehand and counting to that number where they know it is, and all these things disguised to feel fair, more open, they all add to that one final moment where, yeah, this is beyond reasonable doubt, this shouldn't be happening, and then the moment happens. And I feel like trying to give your spectators those more powerful moments of magic, obviously they make you feel good as a performer, but magic is real, right? And I don't say that as in I believe people can fly. Magic is for me, my definition of magic is the moment that they experience it. So that moment when they experience the magic, I felt it. Like the first real piece of magic that I seen was somebody performing to me Dr. Daly's last trick. That moment when I turned the 2 cards over in my hand, and they were now 2 different cards, that was real magic. Even though now I know there's a method, that moment, that was magic. So I think by not giving the opportunity for people to experience real magic is doing everyone, yourself, the people that do magic, your peers, you're stealing these moments from people, and you don't know what sort of impact they could have. So that's my thoughts on it. I say, you know, magic does exist, and it exists in the mind of the spectator when they experience it, and we can practice as much as we want at home to ourselves. We can go through the motions of tricks, but there's no point in doing them if you aren't creating real moments of magic. So I know that got a bit heavy towards the end there, but I hope you guys enjoyed this effect. Go off, practice it, and perform it. Go and perform this trick, because it's self-working. I'm going to put a lot of effort in, but the reward you get from it can be exponential. So that's it. Hope you all enjoyed it so much. I know it went on a little bit longer than normal, especially because it's self-working, so I could have just said, take 20 cards and follow me along exactly, and it'll work every time. I could have just said that. But you know this channel. You've been here a while already. If you're not subscribed, do so. But we're here to make you better magicians. All of us should be trying to improve our magic at all times. So you could have just gone off and learned the method, and you're welcome to do that. I try to summarize it as quickly as possible for you, but we care. We want to be better magicians, and we want to give our audiences better experiences and hopefully close to real magic, or real magic experiences. So this is why I focus a little bit more on the presentation and the reasoning behind it today than I normally would. But with all that being said and done, we'll be back on Sunday for a very special Sunday session live with the one, the only, the master of mystery, the Danish Blaine, Kim Anderson. So I'm very excited to tune in live with him. He's going to be talking about all things shrapnel, and maybe give us some sneak peeks about what he's got coming out in the future. But until next time, folks, I will see you on Sunday, and then I'll be back on Tuesday for another Tutorial Tuesday.